Hey everyone, Casual Console Gamer here. Starship Troopers Extermination was released in the early access on May of 2023, and it had its full release in October of 2024. It's available on PC through Steam and on console on Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, where I played it. Developed and published by Offworld, Starship Troopers Extermination retails for $50 and requires PlayStation Plus or Game Pass Gold to play online. So, the question is Starship Troopers Extermination worth playing on console in 2025? This review is going to answer that question. The answer is no. It's not worth it in 2025. At least not for $50. I think the price and the fact that Helldivers 2 exists will keep a lot of players from checking out Starship Troopers Extermination. If this were like a $20 game or even a $30 game, I could maybe recommend it, but for $50, it's lacking in content and way too buggy. With that said, let's get into the graphics and the technicals of Starship Troopers Extermination. The game is really rough. There is no other way to describe its performance. Although the FPS is pretty steady, that isn't a big accomplishment since this game doesn't look that great. The graphics are dated, something that is deliberate since it's the only way for the developers to get 16 people on a single map, along with hundreds of bugs and enemies, and all the madness of shooting and building stuff and all that. But that much activity comes with severe problems. Textures don't load incorrectly. Animations on enemies fail, resulting in them like sliding across the ground rather than walking, or they die in this stuttering, weird, pre-scripted way. There's a lot of rubber banding and server issues in Extermination. Nearly all of my matches had lag and stuttering. And since it's an always online game, you need to play this game with others. There is a single-player offline campaign mode, but that's only like 20 missions, all taking place in the same couple series of caves with bot companions, just with different colors on the walls. So you need to play online to have fun. But good luck finding a match, even with crossplay enabled. If you aren't playing at a peak time like in the evening, you won't find a group to play with. Then there are the match finding problems themselves. During my playtime, I had the game update and I couldn't log in for an entire day. Even restarting the game and the console didn't fix it, and I had to wait until it got resolved on its own.
Amidst the formidable cliffs of Boreas, the Federation dispatches the Deep Space Vanguard to the icy, cavernous terrain to establish arc scanners. And when our courageous Deep Space Vanguard complete their task, the bugs will resemble nothing more than the frozen mincemeat buried forever within the planet's icy crust.
Alright, so the game is technically rough, but what about the gameplay itself? Well, the gameplay is all about building a base with other players and surviving against a horde of bugs. There are a few different mission types that shake things up a bit, but that's the most common gameplay piece. You start the game by selecting a class from a few different archetypes, like Ranger, Gunner, Sniper, etc. You unlock new weapons and upgrades as you play them, and each has a different special ability. From there, you find a match. My recommendation is to always use the quick play function, since trying to find a specific match type is nearly always useless because the uneven player counts outside of peak times makes it incredibly difficult to find a match. From there, most missions have you building your base, using resources either given to you for free or collected from refineries. Some missions give you a whole lot of resources right from the start, and you have a set period of time to build your base and survive, while other missions just dole them out slowly over like 10 rounds, with enemies getting stronger and more numerous as the mission progresses. Each component of the base takes resources to build, and you can only build so many of them before you hit a cap. From there, bugs come at you and you shoot them. Sometimes you have a set number of respawns, or maybe you have to protect the base for a set period of time. Then it's time to evac and do the mission all over again. The game itself is very simple, and it's like a COD game where they only give you the multiplayer, a couple of maps, and like 2 game modes. Again, it's seriously lacking for $50 US, and combined with the server issues, it can be hard to get into. But sometimes when you find the right crew and the right mission and the right map, The game is so much fun. My favorite is the Horde missions where you get so many resources over a period of time and everyone is scrambling to finish the mission, rebuild the base, and just survive. It makes for some harrowing and fun times, but then there are those times where you keep dying from unseen enemies, unseen explosions, and long-range enemies hiding behind rocks, and it just becomes very frustrating. The biggest takeaway from Starship Troopers Extermination's gameplay is that it has its moments of extreme fun and extreme frustration, depending on how it is performing at any given moment.
Welcome to the SOG. There's only one rank that matters here, and that's mine. You have been handpicked out of the Vanguard to lead up a ragtag bunch of mobile infantry grunts. It's your job to turn these greenies into a fighting force capable of any mission until I find someone better.
Okay, let's talk about the story. There is none. Rico, Casper Van Dien from the movies, makes an appearance in the single-player missions voicing a character, but he really phones it in and he basically just repeats lines from the movie. But that isn't a story. The single-player missions are more of a tutorial with no connection to anything else or even the other missions. Then there's the overall campaign, sort of like how Helldivers 2 has an overall campaign of liberating planets. Extermination tries to do something similar, but it's just window dressing. You can't actually liberate planets. Instead, by completing missions, you gain points, and that goes towards the overall goal. But it's just a tab on the main menu and not connected to anything. There isn't a story. Presumably, this game is set sometime or during the movies, but I'm not really sure. Let's go into the pros and cons of Starship Troopers Extermination. For the pros, playing with other people online in 16-player co-op is hilarious and fun at times. The missions get incredibly chaotic, with piles of bugs gathering in front of gates. The iconic music comes back, and it's so clear that it's a Starship Troopers game. The bugs are well done, and even the base building matches the appearance of the movies. For the cons, the servers can be just hot garbage, and the player counts make finding a game hard outside of peak times. Rubber banding, server instability, bugs, and glitches, it really feels like the game is still in early access. There is no story, and the missions are all pretty much the same. And that's it for another review. This one is short because there isn't really much to say about Starship Troopers Extermination. If you want to play it, get it on sale and don't pay full price for it. I'm the Casual Console Gamer, and I'll see you all in the next review where I talk about Space Marine 2. Thanks for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe for more of my content.